This podcast will be brought to you in two parts. You are listening to part 1 of 2. The second part will be released on Friday, the 30th of May.
Hello, this is Alex Calvo Garcia. You're listening to the Iron Hour podcast.
You are listening to the Iron Hour podcast. Right, Iron fans, get ready for this. Scunthopre United have been promoted.
Woo! As if everybody's been living in a cave.
I'll say that one more time. One more time. Scunthopre United have been promoted.
But it's like we're at a funeral. Fucking hell, everyone. Come on.
Little asterisks on that to the National League. It's Barra here, and thank you for tuning in once again to the Iron Hour podcast. This is the breakdown of the Chester game, the final, the promotion game. I'll say it for a third time. Scunthopre United have been promoted to the National League. I'm pleased to say I've got my usual panellists with me. I'll kick off with, first of all, you've heard him already, it's Max Bell.
I feel like if anybody's got a special effects, let's get some fireworks going, you know. Also, Barrow, where's your T-shirt? You know what T-shirt I'm on about. Where is it?
Prefer not to speak. If I speak...
Oh, rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Which one is it, Max?
What was that, Gareth?
I said, which one is it, Max?
We're also joined by...
I think the one you designed. I think the one you designed for him, Gareth. I think you did a really good job with that.
I didn't design. I got sent that design.
Oh, okay.
By Barrett, actually.
I didn't ask for a T-shirt.
Oh,
he did.
So I've seen him wear the T-shirt. I think he looks very handsome in the T-shirt. What does it say, Gareth? What does it say?
Something about Chester.
Yeah, I know. I think it's also almost an homage to Tom Zanetti, isn't it?
Yes.
And
Gareth would tell you, but it's signed an NDA, so...
I feel like, as the YouTube person, Gareth, if you now superimpose Barra wearing this T-shirt, there is absolutely nothing Barra can do.
That's true.
What's on the bottom of your cup?
What?
Oh, I thought you had a little iron up. See?
You know what I mean?
Brandon. You know
Product placement.
You know what I mean?
Are we doing a pod?
Yeah, we're doing a pod.
Or my mug, which is Scunthorpe for Notts Forest 0 in the style of teletext back in the day.
How do you see that?
Right, with great difficulty. Great difficulty.
Max,
but if we have that here.
Just rein it in, guys. Right. We're also joined by the People's Princess, Iron Army. How you doing, Gaz?
I'm really good, thank you. Still excited from last night.
Yeah, we're recording this on Bank Holiday Monday, straight after the festival. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. I'll also introduce, I think she's the new everybody's favourite, Becky. How you doing, Becky?
I'm good. How are you? I like that little introduction, to be fair. Oh. It's because I haven't ran my mouth for 5 minutes, so
yeah,
everyone's enjoying the peace.
No one's been blocking you on Twitter. Just wait till they hear what you've got to say about the management setup next season. We're also joined by a very special guest today. Another prominent Iron fan. Can I say that, Gaz?
You can.
Yeah, I mean, a young man who's risen to fame in the last couple of weeks. It's the drummer from the Donny Road End, Ryan Ashmore. Ryan, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Having me, I'm all good, thank you. Yeah, I'm all good.
He clearly thinks that we're a bunch of clowns after the last 4 minutes, but apart from that...
So, let's talk about... What do you want to talk about, Ryan? Do you want to talk about promotion, or do you want to talk about that open-top bus tour on Friday? Because you were front and centre, you got on stage, it was incredible.
I'll talk about anything. It was, Friday. We'll go with Friday.
Right, let's go with Friday then. So, Sunday we're promoted, the euphoria of that. You think life has peaked at that point, and then Thursday night you get a message?
Yeah, so Thursday night I was in Sheffield watching the darts, and I got a message from James Moody saying if I wanted to go on the open top bus. And then sort of one thing led to another, and I ended up on stage as well, which is completely mental.
No one deserves it more, though. No one deserves it more. I stand next to Ryan at the games, and oh my God, do I have earache? But it is the best earache ever. I don't know if it's from him, his drum, or his friends in my ear. However, they are the greatest set of young lads that I have ever. It is a pleasure to stand next to them.
And Becky hates everyone. Honestly, if you say nice things about Ryan and his mates, that is, mate.
Can I just say,
character reference that?
Can I just say that I try and stay away from Ryan at the football because the sound on the vlog.
I ruined the Brackley vlog at the start of the season, didn't I?
Well, I normally ruin him anyway, but
it's usually the restraining order that keeps Gareth away. To be fair, but
and I would just say that the proof of Ryan's popularity has been the fundraiser. Ryan, talk to us about it. What are you going to do with the money? Barbados? The Caribbean for a couple of weeks?
Truro.
Yes.
But honestly, I can't thank anybody who's donated enough. I never sort of expected any of it, really. From the person that set it up, I think his name was Richard. He set it up, and the support it's got is mental. I'm completely just overwhelmed by the support, and I can't thank you enough.
You did on Twitter get a little bit of jip, didn't you, for recommending getting balloons and stuff like that. So it's nice to see you get rewarded for making the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the support. Honestly, as soon as it was set up, I think I was completely just blown away. And now to see how much money it's raised and things, and that's going to be a massive help to get tickets and things through the season.
How did you find the game?
What, the Chester game?
Yeah.
It was fucking nerve-wracking like the rest of us.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I sort of really understood why I felt so nervous until the end, but it was worth it. I've got to say something on that, Gareth. Gareth, you said that you'd do the Carlton dance if he scored the winner. He scored the winner in both games. You said it on Facebook.
What are you going to do that?
You did.
I was there. I was there.
You going to do it?
This?
You commented on someone's Facebook post saying that you'd do it, and
you've got to do it today at the end.
I've done enough dancing, as being seen on Twitter.
Right, hang on. Whose Facebook post was it? I'm prepared to find it whilst we're.
Well, you won't. It was on the fan page, mate. You're banned from there.
It was a post before.
I'm not. I just, you can still find him even if you're not a member. You can still search.
It was a post before the semi-final saying about how if Carlton scores, Carlton needs to do the dance from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Gareth said he'd do it. I think he said it on the podcast as well.
He did.
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
Well, you can't go back now. You've got to do it.
Right. Okay. We're just not going to do anything until you start doing the dance. I think.
Well, it's going to be a good pod then. I'll sit in silence.
I've seen your dad dancing.
Oh, that's some terrible dancing.
I've seen yours as well. So
hey, mine's all right. Don't worry about that.
Ryan, is there anything you're looking forward to next season now? Is it Truro, or is it, are there other games? Is it home games?
Our friend group were talking about going to Truro from about February. So, I mean, we celebrated on the way back from Hereford when Truro won the league and things.
Yeah.
So that's obviously one thing I'm looking forward to. I think
we're going to get them on like a Tuesday night in November now. Everyone's been saying Truro away, Truro away.
I'm looking forward to Forest Green away. It's one of the only places where I can really eat at the ground because I'm vegetarian. So it's
me too, hon. Me too. That's
separate podcast.
Having been a couple of times, the chips. I mean, A, the falafel, and B, the chips at Forest Green are pretty good. They cook them in some sort of kind of like organic vegetable oil, but they are really nice.
Beef dripping, Max.
Sorry?
It's beef dripping.
Yes, it's definitely beef dripping. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I went the first time we played them, and it was good. Sort of there. I'm looking forward to it again.
Hasn't Michael Kelly? Is he not in talks about a new contract? I think I've seen. It got released when I was driving up to Scunny, actually. So I only got bits and pieces. Are you excited about that? Are you hoping and praying? Is that what your GoFundMe money's going to?
Yes. Contracts, his boots.
You love Michael Kelly, don't you? Why do you love him so much?
I think he's just great. I mean, I've got his shorts up there from last season. I won them somehow, so they're up there. He sort of started off as a joke, really. We were just trying to come up. We were on the way to South Shields trying to come up with some chants for players, and then I could only ever think of ones for him, and now he's my favourite player. And it's
I like it. People worship strikers who score 30 goals a season. Back up left backs. That's where the real action's at.
I think as a friend group, like me and my friends, I think our two favourite players are Kelly and Rowley. Our group chat was called the Joe Rowley Fan Club for a solid 7 months.
Good, well done. I like it.
Who's everyone else's favourite from this season then? Since it's the last one, it's the end of the season. Who has shined for you? Who would you think's, apart from the top goal scorer?
Barra's going to say Andy Boyce.
Yeah, Barra is going to say that.
Gareth is going to say Andy Boyce's father-in-law.
What? I'd go Will Evans. I think, he was out of the team so long. He got his opportunity, took it with both hands and his head. And, it's just been immense, hasn't he?
I think, particularly based on the last month, 6 weeks, I think I might actually say Clunan. He's ended the season really well. Defensive midfielders were a big target to get chip. But actually, even my dad's best mate, who's been a very big critic of Clunan, has actually said, no, that ended the season really well. So, yeah, hopefully they'll all stay when the contract negotiations kick off.
Barra's muted himself. Who
are
you saying? Yeah, Boyce?
No, he's back. He's gone back to muting himself. This is what promotion does to us all. We're all just so giddy. We can't believe they actually got over the line.
Becky, who's your standout player?
I would go for Clunan as well. I think from last season to this season, it is worlds apart. Apart from when we play Kings Lynn, he falls like a sack of shit, unfortunately. And I did call it in that pre-Kings Lynn podcast as such that Clunan would really, really struggle. But apart from that, I think he's been solid. And he's a great captain as well. You hear him getting people into place. Like, he's quite small. He's not small, but against Will Evans, he looks like a dwarf as such. But he'll put Will Evans and Andy Boyce into place. And that's what I like so much about him. You can hear him shouting constantly.
Go on then, since we've said favourite player, Ryan, what's your favourite away game been of this season? Is it Brackley because you're in Gareth's slog?
Well, Brackley's up there because, I mean, it was one I wasn't, like, I was going in, I was like, oh, this is going to be horrendous because I went last year, I was like, oh, it's a crap ground. But it ended up being good. I think Newcastle Town, that's up there because, I mean, we were all just having a laugh. So Needham Market, that was another good one.
I think the fact that you said Newcastle Town there is quite interesting because often it's not really about the football, is it?
No.
Just sometimes you'll have a day when there's the right group of people and you're just having a total.
Well, I think
whatever.
He come up to us right before the game, and he just started talking to us, and he told us what the team were called and things. So we were chanting for the rugby.
I don't really like rugby, but I'd have made an exception.
Yeah, that's how dire the start of the second half was. We scored, and there was this little hill, and I just remember one of my friends going rolling down this hill, and we scored to make it 1-1 against Newcastle Town, and it was just funny. Like,
and I'll flip the question on its head then. What was the shittest away game? What's the place where you're going to be going? I'm thrilled we're not going back there next year.
Warrington. I was stood behind 4 rows of people watching the ball get pinged into the air. Like, that was the only time I could see it. And then
it's cold. You're always getting pissed on. There was that weird half stand behind the goal that didn't have a roof.
Yeah, and that you could only see the far half of the pitch from there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So we were stood there with Marco for the start of the second half. Then we moved to behind the goal. I ended up behind 4 rows of people just watching the ball get pinged into the air. It felt like they were falling off because I couldn't hold the drum.
And Warrington would be would be right up there for me because it was cold, it was bloody wet.
They shortened the away end this year as well. Last year we had a bit round the side. This year we didn't, and there was more people there this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gareth, what was your shittest away day? What's the one? Forget happy memories. Who are you glad to see the back of?
Kings Lynn. Just told my dad don't come to the football anymore with me
because we always play shit there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was just one of that. It was just that was like ruined the season, really, for me. Well, we'd ruined it already, but
Kings Lynn was made better by the sort of group of 100 or so, like I don't know, sort of my age people that were stood in next to the away fans that were just they all ran up, jumped, climbed this cage when they scored, and then they all walked back up. It was.
Can I just jump in there when Ryan says my age people? I think that means we're all old.
Yeah, look, Gareth, we were all young once.
Well, I think I was.
Barra, you've stayed quiet. While we're on a roll, what was your shittest away game this year, last year? What's the one place you're glad to see the back of?
Great people, but definitely Rushall Olympic in terms of the day was just absolutely dreadful. Did not enjoy the day at all, but fantastic people. People at the club were amazing, really, really hospitable. But yeah, very happy not to be going back there, I've got to say.
Last year at Rushall was all right. This year at Rushall was grim, proper.
I thought it was all right personally. I mean, other than take the result in the football, but sort of it was the first half was good. Just imagine it was the first half, and then
you went home at half time, went and had a nice curry. Job was a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the football and the result away from it. It's a bit like saying, this is Lincoln. Other than the shooting, how was your night at the opera?
I mean, firstly, wow. Secondly, a reference from what 1860. It's modern, contemporary
as always. Right, Ryan. Before you leave us, to my mind, this will probably be the first promotion you've got a memory of, because you would have been 5 or 6 when we got promoted in 13-14. What does this promotion mean to you as an Iron fan?
It means so much to me because I wasn't. So 13-14, I was there, but I didn't see the games where we got promoted. I think I was 5 or 6. I didn't. Yeah, it was the year before I got my first season ticket, or the year of. I can't remember too well, but I didn't go to the games where we won. Basically, every game I went to that year we lost pretty much or drew, and it was So it doesn't really seem like a promotion. Where this year, it does, and it's sort of surreal. Really, it means so much to me. The club getting promoted and the way that we did it as well. I think at Glanford Park, it almost felt like we won it automatically, with it being at home and things, and it was incredible.
Yeah, they did it. They did it the hard way, didn't they? Go on, Barry. You were going to jump in.
Yes, there were the thoughts there of Ryan Ashmore, the Donny Road End drummer. Thank you very much for coming on today, Ryan.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's a pleasure.
Well, Becky, Ryan was talking there about what it meant to him to get promotion. What an incredible day. What do you want to talk about from Sunday? Because, oh my God, I can't.
But you say incredible. You say incredible. It was horrific.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy a single minute of it, and this is the point. People say it's like the best day and stuff like. As a fan, well, everyone's a fan. I didn't enjoy it. I hated it. I hated how we played. I didn't feel confident. At first, you never feel confident, regardless. Then we started to get a bit going for us, and then they got the penalty, and then it went to shit. And so from there, I was clutching. I even put on Twitter, "This is gonna hurt," because I generally thought it was going to be a repeat of last year where we lose and we watch another set of fans invade our pitch. It was horrific. I don't know how we kept going. I'm glad we kept going. As we say, how we get there, we don't care. But I'd have preferred to do it another way, but I'm glad that we did. But it wasn't enjoyable, but that's probably because there's so much lying on it, resting on it.
Yeah. Any big game, when you've got that much on the line is always like that. I think like back to Millwall at Wembley, we beat them 3-2. Like the actual 90 minutes, first 85, found really, really, really stressful. Like you're physically exhausted by the end of it. But that's football. If you get it over the line, it's worth all the stress and more. And I think, and often playoff finals, very rarely are they classics. I know maybe ironically Scunny Millwall was, but they're often quite nitty. They're quite gritty. Sides are worried about making mistakes. I mean, I watched Charlton Orient yesterday on the telly, and that's two good League One sides. And as an actual game of football, it wasn't good because everything's on the line. Like that's just what it is. And if you come up short, they're awful. But if you win, it's the best feeling ever.
Gareth, did you think we'd stopped it then when that equaliser goes in?
Yeah, it's just it was just felt like the same old Scunthopre. One good half, one bad half, and obviously the second half was the bad half. And they've scored, and you're just thinking, when's it going to happen again? It's going to happen. When's it going to happen? Will we have enough time left to get back into it? That type of a feeling. So to see the full time whistle go, I was grateful for that. And then it's just all about who has the nerve, and hopefully somebody wins it within the extra time and not go into penalties. And luckily we got the winner. So, but yeah.
So, incredible day. Max, it felt to me that the drift was going towards, in that second half, it felt like the drift was going towards a Chester win. And I made a note on my phone, so as games going on, I made a note to say the point the momentum switched back to us was when Fitzsimmons went down with in inverted commas, injury. I thought that was a moment where the momentum for Chester was completely killed dead, and we were able to get some resemblance of tactics and instructions towards the players. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I don't. The first half, yes. Second of what you said, I agree with. The second half, I'm not sure I do. I think Chester did have that period of 25 to 30 minutes in the second half where they were clearly on top. In a way that actually, in the Boston game, for example, I never really felt like that. It was always, if we score, we win this game. And due to a combination of bad luck, missed chances and shit refereeing, we didn't. But this time round, the recurring thought that was in my mind was how Chester had done it against Kiddie, when they'd been 1-0 down away from home and they'd come back in the 90 minutes. And once the momentum swings your way, that can be quite a strong force, especially at this level. What I actually thought was that just in the final third, at the key moments, Chester maybe lacked a little bit of quality. Obviously, the goal came from a penalty, but if you look at all three goals, in my view, all three weren't great defending. Even when you think back to our winner, they've had a couple of chances to clear it. If you win the first or the second ball, we don't score in that moment. Carlton shot is blocked, and it's the fact that the keeper's already dived that really makes it so that when Carlton gets up to poke home the rebound, he's got only 60% of the goal to aim at that the keeper can't get to. So, look, at this level, games are decided by mistakes, and if you're in the right place at the right time. What I was worried about was when Whitehall went off injured, but luckily, Carlton was in the right place at the right time, and nobody remembers he's missing the second half of normal time now, do they? Because that's just how football works.
Yeah, well, Becky, Carlton, let's talk about him. Max said there that games are decided on mistakes. Well, games are decided on big moments as well, and there were two huge moments for Carlton in that game. The first one, as Max has alluded to there, in the second half of the regular game. The goal gaping at him, he skies it onto the bar. First of all, what are you thinking at that point?
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because I'm so negative. I hate being so negative, but I am quite a negative person because I feel like if I'm not negative, then I live the nightmare twice. Yeah. So if I think the worst and anything, I kept saying, if I think the worst, anything else is the best. I've always massively rated him. Like at the start of the season, he was just getting to grips with playing. I think the team and everyone got on his back. Didn't rate him at all. I knew he would come good somewhere. He's just something we're missing with him. It's something that we've missed, and he can't be replaced. Like Whitehall, he's a different kind of player. I was feeling the same all game. I was terrified until the whistle went. Literally, and that's not even me lying. I was terrified. Not once did I think we've got this. Like,
Wow.
even when people were pretending to blow the whistle, not once did I think I got this. Just because I just get deja vu of things like Solihull Moors at home when we was like 3-0 up and rocketing and celebrating, and I was actually really happy, and then we lost. Do you get what I mean? I just can't get myself there because we've seen so much heartache. I think that's why I couldn't get myself excited. So I was feeling exactly the same. I was petrified. I was euphoric, but I was petrified.
Well, Gareth, Becky's anxiety would have been somewhat comforted in extra time, in extra time, in injury time at the end of the first period of extra time when Carlton pops up and gets that goal. Let's talk about Carlton a little bit, because we talked last week about this being an opportunity for somebody to become a legend, an opportunity for someone to become that modern day Alex Calvo-Garcia. And, there's a couple of things for me here. One, it's a man who took 21 games to get his first goal for the Iron. This is a forward. To then respond to that period with, was it 9 goals in 17 games? An unbelievable turnaround. But the fact that he got his goal at the away end and meant he could celebrate with his family, it just felt like it was written in the stars, didn't it?
Yeah. And I think as well, that goal, when I've watched it back on like media, it looks like when his first strike hits the defender, it like spins back.
It does.
Into him. And so he's just going to hit it even sweeter because the ball's coming into him and he can just connect with it a lot better. And it just everything just seemed to line up for him. Like you say, his family are all down that end as well. So, you get to celebrate with them. And he has to do it in front of the away fans. Why not? But, enjoy it. But yeah, just the way the ball spun back to him and that he could get a cleaner strike with it, and everything just seemed to line up for him and for us. So yeah, happy days.
Max, I wanted to talk a little bit about Andy Butler if we can, because I think Sunday kind of epitomised for me, this is my opinion, his game management when it came to particularly that second period of extra time. I thought the introduction of Andy Boyce towards the end and
inevitable. We all saw that coming.
Yeah, well, we did. I mean, he said, didn't he? Finished the season with 5 at the back just as he started it, Max.
Yes, I can still remember. I can still remember turning around to my brother at half time and extra time and said, "Right, when would you bring Boyce on?" And he paused for a second. And he went, "Now, I'd do it now." So look, I think he did it 50 seconds into the second half of extra time, clearly to try and just get a bit of value on time for the substitution. Look, if this had been a regular league game, we'd have probably been a little bit disappointed. We'd have thought we got a goal in front. We didn't make the league count. We didn't play that well in the second half. Point at home, is that enough for title form? But when it's the playoffs and you've got extra time and you've got penalties, nobody gives a shit. All it is can you get over the line by hook or by crook? And luckily they did, which, the fact that they did so without Whitehall and Roberts is not to be sneezed at. And once you get into that second half, you've just got to see out 15 minutes. You don't have to play well. It doesn't matter what happens. You've just got to see it out. I think the 99 playoff semi-final, when they had John Eyre sent off, and that you're just clinging on, just do what you've got to do, and they did it. Don't get me wrong. I think it was carnage at the end. I'm still not actually convinced the referee knows how long injury time he played or was meant to have played. I don't think anybody knew how many was signalled, and then obviously there was the trying to
It wasn't put up.
No,
it wasn't. I didn't see it in either one, and I looked, and everyone else looked, and we looked at each other and went, "I don't know." It wasn't announced.
Yeah, so it sounded like it was sort of half announced, but for whatever reason, it wasn't very clear.
I don't think there was a number announced. I think they announced that it's additional time, and I think that might have been so the fans don't go on the pitch and
Well,
I'm not sure, but I'm adamant. We need to ask Moody, to be fair, because I'm adamant that I didn't see no sign go up
It
at
wasn't.
all.
You're
Well,
right there, because the first thing I did when I didn't hear the number, it was like, I don't know. The same as you, I didn't hear it, so I've gone to Twitter.
Yeah.
Nothing on Twitter.
nothing, no.
Twice as well. The first time in the first half of extra time.
I think it happened three times.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear it then, but I remembered the first half of extra time. I tried to listen and I thought, oh, maybe I've just missed it. I don't know how long, but the second half, I made sure I missed.
So the first half of extra time, I think it was 3. I think I heard that.
Did you see it?
Not with my eyesight, no.
You couldn't see anything, could you?
Well, no, but that's if something. I know this is going to sound a bit. If something like that happens, in a way, I almost close my eyes and I focus on the hearing.
Max works on vibration.
Yeah, the fourth official's there with a Morse code sending it to me, and then I think at the end of the 90, was it 7? I think it was 7 at the end of the 90. But Gareth's got the best view of us all by miles. If he hasn't seen it and he hasn't heard it, what chance do the rest of us have?
The only way I knew how long was going was the managers were asking the fourth official, and he kept showing fingers. So that's the only way that I knew how long we had left. And the manager was trying to get that to the players and just, tell them that they had 2 minutes or 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
On the note of managers, sorry to butt in, how good is their manager? Like, he is just a top gent. Like, he is just ace. You cannot dislike him, and I hate everyone. But I rated their manager so much. He applauded us. He waited till the end. He didn't kick off. He didn't run to the fourth official or the ref because he thought something was unfair. He literally applauded us, and you just can't get anyone better than that. Like, I generally wish him the best because he was just so nice.
You say you can't get anyone better than that, but you can get a winning manager that gets you promoted. Get in there.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
But no, you're right, Becky. You're right. He stood there and he applauded. He didn't have to come back out and, do what he did when the trophy presentation was going on or anything like that. And his management team as well, they came out as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't just
his
him,
interview was so good, and it just made you feel so nice. There was no I'm gonna name him now. If Phil Brown was there and he lost, he'd be kicking off. Honestly, he would be kicking off, and he's just a total different manager, and he's so nice. Like, you generally wish Chester the best, not only for the manager, but they're a good team as well. We need to remember they played an extra game than us, didn't they?
Yeah.
They played, and in the end, it wasn't pretty. It was slog on slog. Everyone was exhausted. There was cramp here, there, and everywhere. Even I had bloody cramp, and I wasn't even playing. However, it was just who got to the finishing line. So you can't beat them. That was incredible. That was great.
Yeah. So the Chester managers, it's Callum McIntyre, who I think it was like a genuine Chester fan. There's photos from him back in the day, I think when he was like a kid and stuff like that, of basically being their equivalent of Ryan Ashmore, which you can't knock in the slightest. And if you think of the last couple of seasons, if you think of the 3 clubs really that we've sort of gone toe-to-toe with for promotion, obviously Tamworth last season, Boston knocking us out, and then this year, Brackley winning the title, and I suppose in fairness, Kidderminster coming being right up there as well.
How did that go for
them? Out of all of that lot, Chester are a bigger club than all of them. So it goes to show the vast amount of league experience we've got at this level. I mean, I think if you the old DVD they did of the 04-05 League 2 promotion season, I think there's 4 or 5
with
clubs.
All the games. It was with all the games. I've still got that,
Yeah, and it was like, us, Boston, Chester, Darlington. There's plenty of clubs who were in League 2 that season, who all in the National League North this season and last season. So, look, just relieved we got it over the line. Yeah, massive. Barra, did you enjoy it? How stressful was it you? I mean, obviously you had Kat and the kids there. How did the kids find it? Because they'll, a bit like Ryan, they'll never really have experienced something like that before.
Yeah, mate, it was the best day of my life. And it was. And I'll tell you why I say that.
Not
Because
not the birth of any of the kids. No.
well, no, because then I would have to have a favourite, wouldn't I? The fact that they were all with me and Kat was with me, we were all there as a family, enjoying that moment, and you could see what it meant to the kids. It meant as much, particularly my middle one. It meant as much to him as it did to me. And I think, as you said there, they've only known pretty poor football, really, pretty poor seasons. So they didn't know that supporting Scunthorpe, being a football fan, could be good to you as well as bad. And I say that I know, but I say
it's
that
true. It's true. It is true.
And even when Carlton scored,
I think.
Sorry, go on, Becky. Yeah,
Go on. No, go.
Even when Carlton scored, they didn't believe that it would end well because it never has.
Were they were expecting the Chester equaliser?
Yeah, because that's being an England fan and being a Scunthorpe fan in their lifetime has never produced anything other than either really, really poor football or coming really close and never getting over the line.
It sounds like I've brainwashed your children then. They have the same view as me.
Look, Barrett, all I would say to that is being an England fan in their lifetime has involved significantly better football and better tournaments than it did when we were their age.
I agree, but the point there is they've seen teams get to the
really close, yeah.
Never do it. So
it's the hope that kills you. I would say though that when Carlton scored, I thought, no, we'll do this now. We'll hold on for 15 minutes. They'll go 5 at the back. I think the fourth official and the ref sort of lost the plot a bit when there was the pitch invasion stuff. I don't think at that point they knew how much stoppage they were playing.
Well, let's be honest. The ref was a very much let's make it about me. He wasn't, and I say that I'm not one of these people that blame the ref if we lose, if we win. Both sides, he was playing it to make it all about him. I do not. I will say that to the dying day. He was all about he was giving yellow cards and he was letting some other things go and the time and stuff. He was just a tosser.
I don't think there were any specific big decisions that I thought he got wrong.
Can I chuck 2 in there?
I thought the 2 penalty decisions he got right were right, but I thought he maybe struggled a bit with game management. You could see it was a massive game. It was a comically massive. You'll never get a bigger game at that level in terms of the 2 sizes of the clubs and the extra time and who the clubs were. You'll almost never get a bigger game at that level. I thought he maybe struggled a bit with that, but almost any ref would. How can a ref?
I can't agree with that.
I think of the pitch invasion stuff. How is a ref meant to deal with 400 people all lined up next to the posts, just ready to steam on? And look, we won, so I don't care. I think I interrupted Gareth, though. Sorry, Gaz.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you say about the refereeing the decisions. I think it was 18 players that he booked overall.
18? Was it that many?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah. But you say about the big decisions, Tyler Denton crocked Ewan Murray.
Yeah,
which
should have gone.
Which was a game changer in a way because he was very creative in Chester's midfield. But he should have been definitely booked for that. And if so, that would have been his second yellow and a red.
Yeah.
I think the reason he didn't, if he'd have had no card, I think he'd have booked him for that.
Well, then it's a yellow, isn't it?
But the reason he didn't was because I actually thought the initial yellow was maybe a little bit soft. You see that with refs all the time.
But you can't flip and choose when you watch. If you book them for something, you can't not book them for doing even worse than the first thing. You've got to stand your ground.
Some of the bookings that he dished out went for next to nothing. Yeah. For just standing too close to a player at times, it felt. And then when Denton did that, I'm thinking, oh, now he's gone.
Yeah. And that's the problem. They end up making a rod for their own back. I mean, the other one, which surprisingly no one's talking about, and it might have just been where we were in the mob stand, but in the first half, I still believe Clunan was very lucky not to get a straight red for that booking he got, where he stood her up and he went in 2-footed. I think it was 1-0 at the time. It was a naughty.
He was. I genuinely didn't think it was a red. It was a yellow, but it was on the ground. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it crossed the line from reckless to dangerous.
And there was also another incident as well where one of our players kicked one of their players at the edge of the box. I think it was for a corner, and their player went down like a sack of crap, as you would do. But that was definitely a kick. I want to say it was Uno, but I can't be sure. But somebody got a clattering just in the build up to a corner. And
well, Barry gets Carlton and Federa mixed up all the time anyway. So if you have Gareth, I wouldn't worry, mate. Sorry, Barry, I'm going to milk that till we're dead. I'm sorry.
Let's just. So we've done the Links Cup final, and yeah, I just got my players a bit mixed up. I mean, these, as you say, these glasses, they're not for decoration, are they? So,
yeah, but I never get that right. I never get those stuff right. And it was 2-0 to me that night. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you've done a job on me.